Today's topic is all about Pop Act Persona, and we have an amazing guest who will share her journey in Persona. She is known for her directing skill, but also she's known for her amazing thought process. She has struggled a lot that I have personally known, and I have seen her journey that it's not easy for a woman to break such a stereotype, especially in the industry where you have lots of empires. I know you are very excited to know who is that. It's none other than Ursula. Let's welcome her. Thank you, Ursula, to accept our invite. Welcome to All My Day podcast. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much, Mohammed, for inviting me. And after months and weeks of coordination and back and forth, I'm finally here. Thank you so much.
So, Ursula, what's the first reaction when our team approached you for the podcast?
I was happy because I am part of the media industry. So any opportunities where I get to speak, I love because I love being in front of the camera.
Wow.
So
Because you're a director, obviously you need to
no, directors behind the camera, but I also am an actor and model. So it is just that not only am I not in front of the camera, I'm actually speaking. So I'm excited about that.
So, are you excited to start our segment number one?
Absolutely.
Okay. Segment number one is knowing your persona. Who is Ursula, and what made you to be into an industry that has so much of stereotype with regards to gender issue?
Who is Ursula? I will tell you. Ursula is a normal, your girl next door. I'm a normal person, just like all of you. I have my quirks, and I am actually an introvert. Nobody believes me, but I am a super introverted person. It takes a lot to get me out of the house. So,
Yeah, it's true.
anyway, so that is me as a personality. I'm quite bubbly, chirpy. I love cracking jokes. I have a very strange sense of humor. I love memes. I think a lot of you guys love memes. I love memes. On the hobbies side, I love sports. I'm a regular gym goer. I make video content. I post my reels where I'm sharing my fitness regime. And yeah, that's what I do on a personal front. And professionally, I am an actor model by hobby. By profession, I'm a producer and casting director. I have a company called Medulla Productions, which is based in Sharjah. And we started in JLT in Dubai, but now we are in Sharjah. And we've been working since 2013. It's been 11 years, and we have casted for Hollywood films, South Indian film Adu Jeevitam, Goat Life. That is the latest release that has come off. We handle the talent on the movie, and I also do most of the work for, like, any videos, social media reels, short films, commercials, anything that is requiring talent to be casted. So that's my forte. But
Wow.
apart from that, if anybody wants an entire production done, start to finish, right from concept to execution, we do that as well. See, the best part about this industry is that there is a space for everybody, men or women. I mean, this industry cannot be complete without women. It is a creative industry, and women are the gurus of creativity. I was absolutely, I would say, honored to accidentally have come into this industry. I don't know, when we are growing up, we just like sabko actor banna hai. Nobody thinks about director, nobody thinks about choreographer, nobody thinks about anything else. Everybody wants to be an actor. So yeah. But then while I was, going to be casted for some movies when I was way younger, when I was in university, and I did get some offers, but I didn't go ahead because that was my first, I would say, experience with the dreaded. So here things are so easygoing,
So smooth, so
safe.
protective.
Yeah, for women, this is, I would say, the safest country for women, and that's a big flex, we can say. UAE's biggest flex is, it's, I would say, the safest country for women, and I never faced this issue over here. While I like this field and I am a creative person, I promised myself that if I have to be part of this industry, it will be on my own merit, because of my capability and talent, not because I've slept my way through things. I promised myself that. But then, I started my career with MNCs like GlaxoSmithKline and moved on to Jotun Paints, Estee Lauder and all. It was corporate. I was in the marketing side, because obviously you have to follow what your family says. Yeah, take the typical, stereotypical, normal day job that you need to pay your bills. So, yeah, but then 6 years in corporate, and I just wasn't happy. Something was missing. And you know what? That casting couch, which is with our industry, the stereotype with our industry, exists even in other industries. Even in the corporate side, I experienced that with your different seniors or some other colleagues in the office. So that kind of made me understand that look, this thing's going to be everywhere. It's up to you how you handle it.
Exactly.
You don't have to give in to things which you don't agree with. I know there are a lot of women who are okay with it.
Yeah.
Women and men. Women
Yeah,
and men.
And this generation, this millennium, they are happy with that.
Not just this generation, even see, it all depends on the person and their motivation for life and their whole career. How something people say, do anything, just be successful. Just do anything, just get that money, But that's not how I was brought up. And I come from a very, I would say, very simple and a clean background. My dad was a government officer and he was part of, I would say, regulatory authorities, people who write rules. So we had a very regimented upbringing. So that thing was drilled in our head. We are not going to go here and there. So no way. There was no way that I would kind of deviate. So this is what I've tried to tell people, that if you are proposition with stuff, it's up to you. But you understand that your choice is going to affect everything else later on. You might gain success, maybe, but that's also not guaranteed. If you don't do something, and at least you can go home and sleep peacefully, that I have not compromised on my moral values and ethics.
Exactly.
Most of the gossip is targeted from our industry. Yeah. But celebrities, how much of scrutiny they have to face for their personal life, what they're wearing, what they're eating, what they're drinking, what makeup they were wearing. Oh, this one looks old, this one gained weight. There's too much of attention that comes on celebrities and people related to our industry, which is why we get demonized more. But like I said, it's everywhere.
When you said about demonize, I would like to know that society is very cunning. It's not that they welcome you with open arms, but they do somewhere. What are some of the challenges have you gone through due to the society, and how did you overcome such challenges?
My challenge was because I was a very naive person. When you say naive, means I'm not street smart. Naive. Like, I don't know. I can't read between the lines. When you get thrown into a market which has 90% expats, and these expats are from different nationalities, they come from different countries. Not everybody is brought up in the UAE.
Yeah.
Ethics is different in different cultures. So when you come into that kind of a situation, you're in an office with 10 different nationalities, dealing with that is a challenge. They will destroy you. If you're new, you come with some stars in your eyes, you have some optimism, but they will destroy you. They will make you so insecure.
That's true.
That you start doubting everything that you say. But that is their power tactic. They are so insecure that they don't want you to grow because they think you'll replace them. Exactly. They don't think if you replace them, they also have the opportunity to grow. I mean, that's a different way of thinking. So when I used to see certain bosses. I had certain bosses in other departments which other people had. They were treating their staff more kindly versus our department. And then I said, this is strange. And I did not want to fit into that box. So we don't have a very, like you can say, a strong sense of belonging with a certain community or tribe or whatever you call it. So for me it was like, no, I'm not going to get part of a group. Like there's always this group dynamics also. Certain nationalities, yeah, they just cling on together and then there is this nonsense happening. I didn't get into that. The other challenges that I faced was, especially because I was in the marketing department, don't work too hard. This is not your company. One day you have to move on. No need to be so loyal or ethical. I told them, look, maybe I might escape by doing this, but this is haram money.
Subhanallah.
This is haram money. Okay? So this haram money, maybe I'll take now. I will have to lose in some other way.
Double and triple, you never know.
And the third thing, which is extremely important, and this is like an advice I would give the youngsters out there, to anybody. Guard your reputation with all your heart. Reputation, your name, your honor, your respect is the most important thing in life. More than money, more than power, more than anything. Because just if one person says, okay, this guy is unethical, he is selfish, he is greedy, and he's done something, you think that person will keep it to themselves? No, they will talk to 10 other people, those 10 other people, and once your reputation is spoiled, you lose everything. Nobody's going to trust you, nobody. So I personally, this is my, what, these are the challenges I faced. And of course I faced this similar challenge even in our industry. There's a lot of games clients play with you, they will not pay you, many times they'll try to exploit you, many things, it has happened. And I had to take the trauma, I had to cover up the losses, I had to pay my people that I had casted and all. This happens all the time. Yes, all you can do is just safeguard yourself, try to have your contracts in place, have to have your legals in place, get a good support system of other professionals. So there's a long, I would say, journey of learning.
Yeah, learning never ends.
Yes, but it also kind of damaged me as a person.
Into
Because from somebody who was extremely naive and thought and believed that everybody has goodness in them,
it doesn't.
I also learned that no, not everybody is good, and that is their nature. So similarly, when you come across toxic people in your life, there'll be people who'll try to use you, take advantage of you and all. Be vigilant, have your red flag. Like whenever you see small red flags, you have to save yourself.
But I don't think so. We have a red flag here because finally we got in touch, and I'm so happy that you are giving us so many information that is really need to be aware of because people are going through very hardly these days. On all
Mental
of-
health,
Yeah.
especially during COVID was a challenge which was an eye opener. Have you not seen how many people during COVID could see black and white?
Exactly. The
For
reality
example,
fact.
how many companies laid off people just like that without thinking how many years they work, what, nothing, money. Then they understood, oh, it's not about them. These people were so proud of being working for XYZ company. Oh, I am this CEO in this company, I am this VIP and whatnot. And there are people like that. You know, I have some family members who are also show offs, like, oh, they derive their identity from where they work and who they work for. But they fail to realize that just piggybacking on somebody else's identity is not going to lead you anywhere, because at the end you're disposable. That's what happened in COVID.
So when you
Yeah.
talk about your circle, how about the negativity which you had within your family? There's so many of negativity that happens within the family itself, like your neighbor, your cousins, and all that. So how you society ka you can handle because that's an external factor. But when it comes with internally, it really damages them a lot.
Absolutely.
How you cover up these challenges?
Okay, the thing is, sometimes when there is negativity in family, you kind of are used to it because it's there from childhood.
Yeah.
Okay, so you think that is normal when it's, you only know it's not normal when you see other people behaving differently. The more you become aware that, hey, this is not right, this is toxic, this is the way this one is behaving, that one, this is, it takes a lifetime to undo that damage. What it damages your perception of life, it damages your whole way of dealing with other people, relating with other people. And for every individual, it also would affect your relationships. I would say personal relationship. Tomorrow, if you grow up and okay, you are dating or meeting somebody, you may find a disconnect because of a certain toxicity that exists in your family. And then slowly, eventually, then you have to heal yourself and deprogram all that. So it's hard. And a lot of people are still not aware that their families are toxic.
It is true.
A lot of people still think, oh, this is love. Abuse is love. Tough love is no. I think it is highly prevalent in Indian, Asian societies. We don't have communication with each
That's
other.
true.
It's very hard to sit across the table and talk to your parents openly. You need to have a balance of three things. One is your family, primary family. One is your personal life, which is your partner or spouse. One is your career.
Yeah.
इसमें से दो चीजें अच्छी हो ना, आदमी चल सकता है.
हाँ, वो तो
When
है.
there are two things which are balanced, you'll be fine. Okay? Now, imagine if everything is messed up, you will be a mess.
It is true.
So, always you have to understand this trifecta. Always. what is in your control then? In your control is mostly your relationship with your spouse or partner. If you're single and you're feeling lonely, please go out, make friends, focus on your life, develop hobbies, practice self-love, because let's be honest, it's very difficult to find a good partner in today's world.
That's true.
It's extremely gone to the dogs.
This is how I think this is how you can balance, as you said, balancing of life motive, where you can know this is how Ursula can maintain your balanced life. So with that note, I would like to know that I don't want to end the segment number one, but then what to do is we have a limit of time.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
As you said about family,
Yes.
and you're very attached to your family, I could see that. What is the thing which you have learned from your mother
Mm.
and from your father, which you still practice and you pray that you will carry on?
Okay, so one thing I've seen in both my parents, okay, they had a love marriage. Okay. And I have seen no matter what, no matter how much of arguments, this, that, or personality clashes they have, they are there with each other.
Right now,
Yeah.
कुछ भी हो जाए, they will not.
They will not leave. And you know something, and on the bigger scale of things, if you see, they have not ditched each other when the time of need is there.
Yeah,
You know,
always will support.
no matter how toxic things get between them, they will still like, okay, how fine, let's, okay, we'll move on. Okay, and they've always focused on the children, like Asian culture. But okay, what it taught me was to be patient. I learned patience from my mom. She tells me, you know, your life is good. You're single, you're enjoying your life, you're doing your gym, you're having your job, you're chilling. You don't have to pressure yourself into doing things which you don't want to do.
Yeah.
So she says, relax. Don't just marry some idiot. If the minute you see something toxic, move on. So you see, the boundaries which she couldn't keep for herself, she's asking me to have boundaries. But she learned this the hard way.
Yeah.
Okay. So for me, I think I'm more privileged because I can earn my thing. I'm not depending on someone else. So I would say this is one thing. So patience, and also the fact that cares so much. Like, she's a very hospitable person. Father, from dad, I got a lot of leadership qualities, a lot of communication skills, because I was his secretary since childhood. I was typing his emails, I was typing his letter a lot, and he reads a lot. So he used to keep pushing us to read. So that's what I learned. And then also, what from my dad I learned is he's extremely ethical when it comes to his work. He will compromise himself. He might compromise his family, but he will not compromise on his work.
That's very.
So this is also something that I've got from him.
So, as Ursula, what's your strength and what's your weakness?
As if I say personally, my strength. See, my strength is my ability to be a very steadfast and loyal friend. And I want everyone to be that way, That is also my weakness, unfortunately. But somewhere it's a weakness in a way, because in today's day and age, not everybody is loyal. Not everybody thinks that way. People are thinking, oh, let's just use this one and throw this one. They're at a very shallow vibrational level, which I don't have.
That's all about Ursula's persona. We have seen her journey. This is how she has been raised, and that's what she depicts. Our segment number 2, which is this and that. Now, Ursula, in this and that, I'll give you some of the topics which our viewer has asked to ask you. It comes for the management skill.
Ji.
People these days, they try to switch a lot because of so much stress factor.
Okay.
So, do you think this is a fact or a reality?
See, I do agree that these days, compared to much earlier, I would say at least a decade back, people did not shift jobs so easily, because it was frowned upon when you show that your CV you're moving from one job to the other. It shows a lack of integrity and loyalty to your company, because the company invests resources on training their staff. Why? So that staff can improve their performance and obviously give out the optimum to the company. Somebody just leaving at the end of 2 years only to benefit somebody else with that. So it was totally looked down upon. In fact, it was always suggested to us when we were in our job scene, in the job market and all, that at least try to be for any company with for 5 years. 5 years is what you should aim for, so that looks good. But if you keep changing, it just shows lack of focus, lack of, I would say, integrity. Uh, you're not sure of what you want.
These days, teenagers or Gen Zs, they are very much into the social media. So, what do you think? Social media is a myth or reality, or it has a positive way?
Social media is another media channel. Okay, when we were growing up, we didn't have.
That kind of.
Okay, what did we have when we were growing up? I'm a 90s kid. But it was TV, radio, that's it.
Yeah.
And then we had outdoor hoardings, posters, walls. That was the media. People relied heavily on traditional media. Now, the minute phones started coming in, they became a digital media. Social media is part of that digital media, so it is inevitable that new things will come up. Maybe in future we have some floating holograms, which is happening now. That is also media. Air becomes a media. Anything will become media at the end of it. So it's a new media channel. It's definitely not a myth, and this is, as long as someone has the easiest ways and most effective ways to communicate with their target audience, please go ahead and use it. If by giving leaflets you think somebody can buy your product, maybe it works for some industries. Maybe social media may not work for all industries.
How
So
about these days people are much more into trying new products and try to give a review because they might get paid or they might not get paid. We don't
okay.
know. So what do you think? Is it because through them many follows it? Is it a risk or good? What's your thought on that?
See, there's always everything you need to take it with a pinch of salt. Not everything you read online is true. Or in the media. I mean, I come from the media industry. I know how much of, there's something called PR.
Yeah.
What is
Ah.
PR? There is something called crisis management thing in PR where, okay, suddenly some celebrity has done something very bad and his name is getting spoiled, and then they have to go out there and make sure everything is recalled. No bad press is going out. So please, whatever you see in the media may not be true. Always take it with some, use your common sense. Okay, so if you want to use a product or service, yes, it does help when you have reviews. But try to see those reviews are from authentic websites. Or if you know one, some of your friends who've bought it, who've seen it, if you've seen something personally, it makes more sense.
How about if you are very concerned about your fitness? People these days follow keto diet, this diet, vegan diet, that diet, and at the end you see they do blogs having all the cheat meal. Do you think it's healthy way or what is your thought on that?
See, look, every individual is different. Everybody gets into fitness for different reasons. I got into fitness because as we grow older, women lose muscle mass. So I was like, okay, now if I'm going to be alone later on, I need to start working for it. So that was my motivation to get into fitness, which I ignored all my life. I was the laziest person ever. Laziest. Nothing. I can diet, but exercise is something which I just wouldn't. But then last 2 years, I've been consistently working out, and with the diets you're talking about, the keto, Sheeto, whatever you're saying, I have done all of them. What's worked for me is keto.
Okay,
Low carb diet worked for me. It because my body is different.
exactly.
Everybody's body is different. So there is a instead of just jumping into a fad, what people need to do is go to the doctor, get your blood work done. This is what I did. I checked my blood. First and foremost, I ruled out, okay, my kidney is okay, my liver is okay, because every diet is going to change the body chemistry for you. So you need to make sure that your liver, kidneys, and all these internal organs are in good shape to handle that. Second, do you have any existing health conditions? Do you have heart problems? Do you have thyroid issues? Do you have any other autoimmune conditions? All these, and based on that, you take what suits your condition. If you want a fitness journey and that has to be part of your lifestyle, certain cheat days are important because for you to feel that I have earned my way to eat this.
About being, people are very conservative with their physical appearance. Um, People, what they will say, comment, judge, and all that. So, what do you think? Do you need to be comfort zone with yourself, or you need to just flow with the
Look, I look at it this way. Your body is your temple. It's not just your body. Your body is directly related to your mind. Today people are depressed and suffering from a lot of mental health issues. You know why? It's directly related to your gut health, your stomach. If your stomach is not okay, you will have all sorts of mental health problems.
Oh, that's true.
So, having said that, what is very common today? If you see somebody who's obese, who's overweight, there are many reasons, but most of the time it is poor diet
Yeah.
and poor exercise that leads to all these health issues. So tell me something, if God has given you two arms, two legs, all your senses are right, why are you treating your body like a garbage bag? And then you look at yourself in the mirror and say, oh, people are fat shaming. Yeah, I got fat shamed. Yes, I was 90 kilos once upon a time. I looked really bad. And I used to feel sensitive and go eat some more and some more, until one day now, because I got into acting and modeling, yes, I lost weight, I did the keto and all, and then I saw myself on camera. Now, being a director, I saw myself on the camera. I said, do I like this person I see?
Wow.
Do I like this person I see? I left my emotions on the side. I said, when I'm going out there, I am competing in my profession with skinnier girls, with other models. Now, if I need to be successful, I need to look a certain way. What is that look? So I started working on achieving that look. You only have limited time on this planet. You want to waste it looking ugly? Shame on you. You're not respecting what God blessed you with. Respect your body, respect your life, respect everything. Don't put garbage in your body. Go work out, go to the gym. Believe me, it's going to make you feel better. You will be a completely different person.
I'm gonna do that because now I'm very obsessed after seeing you all of this. With that note, I hope our viewers will definitely take out all the positive fact from it. And yeah, it's your call because it's your choice, and that's the this and that we're ending. And now we move to our segment number 3. That's rapid fire. So in rapid fire, you need to answer immediately. The time
Ji.
is set, and what comes in your mind. If you just think around, then you will lose, and then you have to have penalty. So
What's the penalty?
that's the entire venue you have to pay.
Oh,
So shall we start?
go ahead.
Okay. What's your favorite movie?
Apocalypto, an interstellar.
Okay. Any movie dialogue that suits your life.
बसंती इन कुत्तों के सामने मत नाचो.
What was your first salary?
My first salary, it was 4,000 dirhams.
MashaAllah. What did you buy with that?
My first salary, I saved it.
That's good. If you get a chance to be a part of charity organization, what kind of charity would you like to do?
I already have my own charity CSR initiative for Care to Share. I started my thing with animal charity, and we also got into blue collared workers. So animals and blue collared workers are the charities that I support.
Wow. What's your advice to the Gen Zs who are just jiggling around?
Get a life. Get a life. Seriously. Like, please take things seriously. It's not, life is short.
What was your first job?
It was of a data support assistant for GlaxoSmithKline.
Wow. What's your time pass? Go to time pass.
Gym.
Really? What type of music you like?
Heavy metal and rock.
What's your secret mantra of fitness?
Keep focused, keep pushing, stay persistent.
What's your cheat meal?
Me? Zinker burger.
If you got a chance to offer somebody a job who is really in need of, what kind of job you would like to assist?
What kind of job I'll offer them?
Yeah.
To be my assistant.
Really?
I need a lot of help.
Which one of your video has gone very viral?
It was a short gym clip.
Okay.
I'm doing a leg press, and right after that clip, I snapped my abdominal muscles. That went viral.
What do you think? Are you expert or you are still learning?
I'm always learning.
Okay. What's fear?
My deepest fear of abandonment.
Okay. What do you think about society these days? Is it improving or still old age?
Going down and down and down the drain.
Okay. If you got a chance to switch your career, so what kind of other option you will select?
I would be a social worker.
Okay.
Full time. Yeah.
If you get a chance to be into a direction with any of the Bollywood actress, who would you like to be?
I have to work with the late Smita Patil.
Okay. What makes you angry?
What makes me angry? People who don't communicate well. who don't want to sort things out, and who just take everybody for granted.
What do you mean about humanity?
Humanity is the ability to connect with each other at a deeper level and just understand the fact that we all are the same. Rather than competing with each other, we should try to work together.
What's the worst quality you think you have?
Me, I isolate myself a lot.
What is one of the opportunity that you missed now and you think काश मैं वो कर लेती तो अच्छा होता?
My second job was with Jotun Paints, and I had also fractured my leg around that time, and I took a long break for the leg to heal. I fell into deep depression because of medication and lot of other problems, and I was in a zone that I didn't want to work anymore.
Oh,
So while that was a beautiful job, beautiful organizations, they really waited for me for 1 year to join again. I only worked there for 4 months, but they waited for me 1 year, and I just wouldn't join back. And literally, I'm telling you, I look back and say I should have joined back because that was the best company ever.
what age you would like to retire?
Now,
Oh my days. What's the silliest mistake you have done in your childhood and you think that हाँ मैंने भी बचपन में ही किया था.
Shararat thi, which led to a disaster, but then you want to hear about it.
Okay. What is one thing that people are really surprised about you?
People say that you're so humble, you're so kind.
That's true.
But before they meet me, they think I'm some arrogant. I don't know.
What is the coolest feature you have in you that people admire a lot?
My feature?
Coolest thing what you have in you.
People love my smile.
And what is one thing you want to say your parents if they watch this episode?
If they watch this episode, do I want them to see this episode?
Oh, why not?
Okay, what do I want to tell them?
Yeah.
Thank you very much for everything you've done for me, and I love you so much.
With that note, still, because her rapid fire was very slow and steady, so you have a penalty
Anji.
that you need to call any 3 people of your circle, किसी को भी, and then you say, "Hi Ursula, I'm in a podcast." So now the timer says, now 3, 2, 1, you have 60 seconds, each call 20 seconds. So let's see
Wait.
the first caller of the day, whom Ursula is trying to connect. Character
अरे यार
सबको कॉल करो.
अरे यार
Hello.
Hello, hi, I'm Ursula, and I'm on a podcast.
I know.
Okay, bye. How did she know?
Okay, next. Oh my God.
Okay.
So the next caller of the day.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Hi, I'm Ursula. I'm on a podcast.
Thank you so much to
Thank
answer.
you.
She
Thank you
won
for
the
answering
hamper.
my phone. I won the hamper. Thank you. Bye bye.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
How are you, Ursula?
I'm
How
fine.
are you?
I'm Ursula, and I'm on a podcast. I'm supposed to call you.
You're on a podcast?
I'm on.
Want to call me?
I'm on a podcast. I have to win a hamper, so I have to call you.
Like, really? Are you in a podcast or are you just kidding?
No,
Yeah,
I'm.
she is. Thank you so much to answer the call. She won the hamper. Thank you.
Thank you, Athar.
Wow.
I'll call you back. Okay.
So here there's a small precision.
Thank
That's a
you.
hamper.
Oh my God.
There's a keto from Sweet Connection and some of the new collection.
Okay,
of
wait.
Maghrabi.
Ahmed Maghrabi.
And
So what do we have? Wait. I have to show.
there's a keto from Sweet Connection.
This is from Sweet Connection. It's gluten free, guys. Oh wow! And there is no sugar.
No sugar.
This is lovely. Thank you so much.
And I hope you enjoy their collections and do order them. They
What
are
is
always
this?
available. It's a surprise. You have to check it out.
This is a surprise. Okay, I will check.
So thank you so much, Ursula,
Thank
to
you.
be part of the
Thank
Rapid
you,
Fire, and
Mohammed.
you did a great job. We move to our last segment of the show, which is the main concept of the show. What's your wish? Your wish? You want to get it fulfilled as soon as possible. And how's the experience with All My Days podcast?
My wish is to be completely financially free. Like I don't want to work anymore. I just want to chill now. You know,
Sure.
like just chill. I just want to be comfortable. So that's my biggest wish. And how was my time with you? I think it's one of the best podcasts attended. I think I do attend very little podcasts, but this was very nice. You asked me a lot of interesting questions, and it was really fun. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
It's an amazing to know Ursula's journey because this is how a woman in today's generation society are. You need to speak up before it's too late because at the end it's your journey, your experience, your persona, and you never know because of you how many of them will get the courage. Yeah, we have done such mistakes. We can overcome.
Absolutely. And I want to tell all the women out there, even men, children, everybody, don't waste time. They may not be a tomorrow. Just take whatever action you need to take now. Don't let anything stop you. Let that little voice in your head which says,
What's
no,
what's
no,
that?
no, don't do it. No, khali walli. Just go do it.
And with that note, I always, as I say, that make sure that you value your family before it's too late because they are the one who's really close to you, especially your parents because they are the one who has raised you, and that's their right to know what your journey is all about. With that note, we are ending today's podcast, and it's me signing out, Muhammad, and that's Ursula. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi.
Thank you so much. Bye.